A1R Psychic Radio here on Moonstruck TV. You're here with Amanda Psychic all the way from the Gold Coast. It's a very, very chilly start to the morning here. Winter has certainly hit us with a vengeance in the last 24 hours here, so everybody's sort of rugged up and heaters are coming out of their dust jackets as we sort of move into the cooler months of the year. But I'd like to kick the show off with just a little reminder that I know I'm 24 hours late, but it's been Memorial Day in the US of A, and it's a time I think that it shouldn't just be something that the USA remember and try and not so much celebrate, but remember the people that have fought for their country and made the world a better place. And I think we can do that wherever we are in the world, and I don't think we necessarily just need a special day or two a year to remind us of that. I think we should give thought to that each and every day, because there is lots of people that did sacrifice their lives to make the world a better place, and I don't think that they should go forgotten. I think we need to remember that each and every day, that we enjoy this amazing planet because of these people. And I know myself, I lost my grandfather long before I was born that I never got to meet, who died in one of the wars. So there's lots of people around the world that have a similar story to share, that, you know, missed out on having a connection or a relationship with a loved one, or somebody that people try not to talk about too much in the family because it still reduces them to tears. So it's a time I think that we can all remember. So this takes me on to the card of the week. Now, this week, it's not exactly my favourite card. It's a card of the Four of Swords, and it's asking us all to slow down. Now, it can be a card of sickness. It can be the card of bed illness. It's needing to take some time out. And needing some rest and relaxation is what's needed here. Now, I think most of us can relate to that at some stage or another, that we are all so very, very busy that we're racing around in our lives. And I think we forget to stop and give our bodies a little bit of R&R, a little bit of rest. And sometimes it only takes a few minutes, you know, sit down for 5 minutes and have a cuppa and sort of just let your mind go still and just let everything catch up with you for the busy part of the day. But when I see this card come out, I look at this as a precursor or a warning to all of us that we need to slow down a little bit this week. We've all been running hither and thither, and we've had so much planetary stuff going on recently that I think all of us are probably running on the reserve tank, and this might be just the time to slow down that little bit and say, let's take a little bit of a breather and allow our bodies and our minds to catch up on everything that's going on around us. So it's been a very interesting week astrologically, because each week I think we sort of get to talk about so much stuff that's going on, and we do have such slower moving planets that I think are making such an impact in our world at the moment. And we've had Pluto in Capricorn now for a number of years, back to when we all had the global financial crisis that none of us want to remember all those years ago, but it is still affecting money markets, and it is still sort of disrupting things around the world at the moment. I know the world is really sort of going through its own inner turmoil about where do, you know, finances, money, politics, all those sort of things fit into this modern world. And we're going to see a few hiccups along the way, I'm sure, as we live out the rest of 2019 and go into 2020. We also have Uranus, the planet of the unusual and unexpected in Taurus, so that's shaking a few things up on monetary sort of world stages and political arenas and things like that. But I really want to focus this week on Jupiter retrograde. Now, Jupiter is the planet of opportunity, expansion, expanding waistlines, but it's considered the lucky planet. Now, Jupiter at the moment is currently going retrograde or backwards at the moment in Sagittarius, and it has been now since the middle of April. Now, what this means is where we were seeing some rapid growth spurts or some expansion and people sort of really starting to rocket along with new ideas and opportunities and inspirations, and this can be taken to the political arenas as well. Now we're going to start to see some of those people fall out of favour a little bit, sudden changes in things not going quite the way that they thought. Newly elected prime ministers and presidents around the world that have had that luxury in the last 6 or 7 weeks are now going to find that all of a sudden the opinion polls change and people don't like them as much as they did even a few weeks ago when they voted them in. So it's going to be a very tricky time around the world for political figures of countries to sort of really get their message across in a way that the general public are going to support them. That's one area. If we take it back to a more personal area for the rest of us mere mortals, it's not exactly the time to be sort of venturing out and starting new projects unless they're already in the works. If they're already going and it's just a matter of we're fine-tuning or bringing things to fruition or moving a project along, that's perfectly fine. But it is not the time to start something brand new. If you try and start something brand new between now and August, you'll probably more than likely find it will fail. It's not necessarily the time to be instigating new things. If things were already planned and in the works and we already had commenced them prior to middle of April, even if it was only a thought in your mind, then that's perfectly okay. It's just not the time to kick something new off. So just be a little bit aware of that. We also have the planet Saturn is also going retrograde at the moment. So we've spoken about Saturn on the show before. Saturn's the planet of discipline. Now, Saturn joining hands with Jupiter, even though they're in two totally different signs, Jupiter's in Sagittarius and Saturn's in the sister sign of Capricorn, but they're both asking us to slow down, make sure that we've got everything in its rightful sort of place. Saturn's the discipline planet, where he sort of waves the big stick and says, have you done all your homework? Have you really looked at everything? Have you done your research? Is everything where it should be? So he's asking us to really look at anything official in our lives, and that brings in doctors, dentists, lawyers, governments, anything that's of an official nature, whether it's your latest insurance policy or even your mobile phone or your cell phone contract. So make sure that everything is as it should be. Now, Saturn will remain retrograde until September. So we're literally sort of being asked in the southern hemisphere, where it's the cooler months of the year, I suppose, hibernate a little bit and just slow everything down. For those of our family and friends in the northern hemisphere, where it's your summertime and where you really want to sort of get out and do some amazing things. I'm not saying you can't do that. All I'm asking you to do is be aware if it's official situations or it's new situations you're trying to kick off, it may not quite go according to plan. There may be a few hiccups. There may be some extra adjustments that you need to make to be able to get these where you want them to go. So don't be disheartened by any delay. Know that it's meant for a reason, and it's giving you an opportunity to regroup, to relook at it and make sure that everything is as you want it to be. So we move on to the more fun part of the show now, where I talk about someone famous as we work our way around the zodiac. And as I mentioned last week, we had such a huge response to the actors and actresses that we've been featuring in our astrology series that I've extended it, and we're going to go back around the zodiac for the second time. And this week we're up to the female sign of Aries. Now, there were so many people to choose from. It was sort of like eeny, meeny, miny, mo, which one do I choose? And I had to choose one of my ultimate favourite actresses because I think that she's somebody that has played a big influence on most of our lives in some form or another. Everybody would know this amazing TV mum. And, you know, we all at some stage or another wanted to be part of her family because it looked like it was such fun, and the children always seemed to have such a great life. And even though they fought and carried on like a family, they still seemed to have a lot of fun and a lot of love. And it was just sort of the ideal sort of childhood for most of us, that we sort of, you know, instead of running off to the circus, we wanted to run off and be part of the Partridge Family, did we not? With Mum Shirley and the 5 children, and get on the Partridge Family bus and, you know, all sing along and come on, get happy. So I'm talking about the one and only Shirley Jones. And Shirley Jones started her career when she was quite young. She's always been a stunningly drop-dead gorgeous young woman. Even in her very, very young years, even as she headed into her teenage years, she was just stunningly beautiful. And I think she's one of these people that has held herself with poise and grace throughout her whole entire life. She's never really tarnished that beautiful demeanour that she has, that she's always been elegant, well-mannered, and a role model to each and every woman on the planet, I think. And she starred in many, many musicals, and she made her big break in musical films, and one of the major ones that she starred in was Oklahoma. There was too many for me to mention in this little segment, but, you know, she really debuted in television when she became the mother, you know, Shirley with the Partridge Family, you know, the widow with the 5 children, and, you know, there they had the colourful bus and off they went touring the country singing and having a good time, and all the bits and pieces that happened along the way. But it always looked like fun. So, you know, Shirley is still alive and she's still with us, and I'm sure she still smiles when she looks back and sees the reruns on telly of the Partridge Family and her up there singing along with her 5 children. And, you know, it was a very fun time, I'm sure, in her life. So we're going to start to take a couple of callers now, because we're at that part of the show, and we're going to talk to Deborah in Baltimore, Maryland. Are you there, Deborah?
Yes, I am.
you have a question for me I can work with, sweetie?
Yeah, I mean, can you do a general, or do I have to ask a specific question?
It's easier for me if you ask a specific question because we've got such a limited time here on the show, sweetie.
Oh, okay. I just want to know about, my finances.
Okay. All right. The first thing that they're showing me is that there's been not so much a rocky path, but I'd say a tricky path in the last 12 months as you've sort of maneuvered your way around your financial minefields. They're showing me now from about August this year, things will start to get a lot easier than what they were. But I feel that that's coming from good management rather than more than, say saying extra income coming in. It's like you've now finally tamed the beast and you're sort of, you're back in control again, which is good. But I don't feel from this point on, I don't think we're ever going to get ourselves into such a tricky situation again. And again, I want to stress, I don't think that was something that you did by bad management. I think it was just a series of events that happened that caused your finances to spiral out of control. Things all sort of happened at once, more than you could cope with financially. Is there a new job on the horizon, Deborah?
An opportunity. I'm thinking about it. Once I can get things in hand, I'm going to venture on to some other things. So that would be a yes.
Good, because I feel that sort of once, like you said, once you've got the finances in some sort of control, then you can expand your horizons and look at this. To me, this is a very, very good opportunity. I'm going to say to you, I think it's good in a sense that you're not at that point yet that you could start this or kick this off, because I think there's still a few more pieces to that puzzle to come in yet. So in a sense, it's been designed by fate that you can't proceed at this present second with it, because if you did, I don't think it would be as successful as it's going to be later in this year. So I think you've got some really exciting times to look forward to, Deborah, particularly over this next 2 to 3 years. It's sort of like we can completely turn your life around in a way that brings you extreme happiness, but also in ways that you never thought possible. It's sort of like, wow, I didn't know I could achieve this. I've always sort of seen my life, just chugging along for a while. And now all of a sudden, everything's sort of starting to open up and come my way. So I want to wish you well with that, Deborah. It's a really amazing time ahead of you. Now, before we take our next caller, we'll just quickly talk about what's happening astrologically. We've got the new moon in Gemini, which is going to be the 3rd of June. So June 3, wherever you are in the world, we need to start preparing our little list of the things that we want to release and the new things that we want to bring into our lives with the new moon. So if you watch the show regularly, you'll know my little mantra on this. I always work on a 7-day cycle. So I would be writing my list and starting to send it out to the universe from June 1 or the 1st of June, letting go of maybe 3 things, but more importantly, putting 3 things at the top of our list that we would like to start to attract to us. Now, they don't always have to be money. It could be that I want to, get a new direction in my life. Maybe I want to find new ways of making my life more enjoyable. Am I going to sort of start to learn some new methods of meditation or, being mindful? There's lots of different new things that we can always be bringing into our lives. So we start on the 1st of June, 2 days for the approach of the new moon, 3 days of the new moon, 3rd, 4th and 5th, and then 2 more days as the moon winds down of the 6th and 7th. So burning a candle for between 15 minutes to 2 hours a day is what I recommend. And we're also working with, of course, it's the Gemini energy. We're going to be working with the air sign candle as well. So usual principle, these ones have 2 wicks in them. I burn 1 wick one day, 1 wick the next day. So that just gives us a longer burn time with those. And if you don't, you can't burn a big candle, we do have our little travel kit. This week I've made it up with the new moon candle in the middle and the air sign either side. Now these ones will burn for about 15 hours. So same principles apply. Write your list out, read it out to the universe, burn it for about 15 minutes to 2 hours a day for that 7-day cycle, and remember to believe in what you're sending out to the universe. Now, I know that might sound really silly, but you can't just read it out and say, oh, well, that's that job done. You've really got to believe in what you're asking for and believe that it is possible to happen. Don't write something on there that's unrealistic, like I want to win the lottery, very few people are going to win the lottery or the lotto this week. So let's be practical about this. This is for people that don't want to work with a candle. This is called a melt warmer. You can take a couple of teaspoons of your soy wax out, put it in your melt warmer, do the same principle, write your list out, read it out aloud, pop it on a coaster, and allow that to go all day. So let's take our next call, and it's Doris in Friendship, Tennessee. Are you there, Doris?
I am. How are you?
How can I help? I'm very well, sweetie. How can I help you tonight? Do you have a question I can work with, Doris?
Yeah, I was just wondering, I've got a lot that's going on in my life right now, and I was just wondering what you see, if you see any problems, outcomes.
Okay, that's a fairly general sort of question, Doris. And in this few minutes that we've got, I'll try and hone in and get as much as I can for you. The first thing that they were sort of sharing with me is, have you not been well this year? Has your energy sort of been under par this year? Because I just sort of feel like I'm not firing on all cylinders.
Yes. In fact, I would say we're heading towards, well, we probably passed exhaustion.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I would sort of agree with that, with what they've been sharing with me. But I also want to sort of suggest to you that I think you do need to sort of start trying to take a little bit better care of yourself, in as much as sort of, trying to get a little bit of rest or relaxation or something there, because I don't know how much more you've got left in that reserve tank, Doris.
I don't think I do have anything left.
No, I don't think you do either. And that's why I sort of, that was the first thing that came through to me, that we really do need to address this. I know there's other issues going on in your life, but if we don't address this one, I don't think we're going to have any energy to deal with everything else. Would it be fair to say that there's been a number of family complications in the last 2 years in particular that has really sort of stretched everything to the limits?
Yes, definitely.
I'm pleased. Okay, sweetie, I really, my heart goes out to you, but I'm pleased to share with you that I feel we've reached the end of that now. Like there's not much more anybody could throw at you that hasn't already been thrown your way. It's sort of like we're now on the upward swing again, where we're starting to regain some traction again, so that's good. But first and foremost, we've got to get those energy levels back up again. It's really sort of, they keep showing it to me as if there's nothing left in that reserve tank, sweetie. You really do need to, start taking some time for you. They're running so much in front of my mind that it's sort of really hard to sort of grab hold of something to sort of share with you. So I can only take from that there's massive changes on the horizon for you, Doris. And it's like things will seem like they're going out of control, and they probably are, but don't get too stressed out about that. The things that you need to grab hold of and you need to sort of work through or deal with or put that at the top of the list, that'll be shown to you. It's like everything is going really, really fast, and then there'll be a stop. And then that's the thing that you grab hold of as the next thing that you got to work on. And then it'll go, speeding again, another stop. And then we sort of come to the next thing that we need to process, or the next thing we need to deal with. Has there been some changes to the home where you're living? Has somebody moved out, or are we doing something in a way of changing something? There just still seems to be uncertainty.
My mother was living with me, and she had a stroke in March, and she's had to go to a rehab place for a little bit.
Right, okay.
And it's
so are they
one thing after another.
Right, but are they anticipating that her condition is such that there'll need to be alternative arrangements made? I'm not sure that she's going to be able to come home again.
Yeah, that's a definite.
Yeah, but darling, I want to say to you that there is nothing that you can do about that or could have done that would have made that any different.
Well, do you see that working out?
Look, I see them putting her in a facility that I think will suit her medical condition. And, she will be comfortable. I'm not saying she's going to like it, because your mum's still got a very strong opinion about what she likes and dislikes, but she knows deep down in her soul that this is the right place for her to be. It doesn't mean she's got to accept it or like it, but she knows that it's the best place, that she's got, the medical care that she needs. But, it's interesting because even though she's had this stroke, she still seems to be able to get her point across, doesn't she, in no uncertain terms?
Yes, but it's been one thing after another since she had the stroke. I mean, this is like her third time in the hospital since she's had the stroke in March. I'm talking to you from her hospital room right now.
Yes, darling, I appreciate that, but I think now that there's going to be an assessment by the medical team at what is the next step in her treatment, like she can't keep having medical episodes and being brought backwards and forwards into the hospital. It's getting past the point of what you and the family can cope with.
Yes, definitely.
And that's not saying that you're not a loving daughter. It's just that, you and the family aren't medically equipped to cope with her condition, shall we say.
Right.
And that's not saying you're not wonderful people. It's just, you're not trained doctors and nurses. And even if you were, there isn't enough of you to give her the care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week that's required.
That's right.
Yeah, so as much as I appreciate it's hard, it's the time now, sweetie.
Well, do you see anything else other than me being drained or work-related, financial-wise?
Absolutely. Yeah, look, I do think things are going to get better, and that's why I asked whether there'd been a change in the house, because that was the first thing that they were sort of showing me, was the thing that had been dominating or overriding everything. And I feel now that we're going to get some resolution to mum and what's best for mum. Now I think that we can come back to you and sort of looking at what's right for you. And once we get you over being so exhausted, I do think the universe is going to start to roll out some really positive, nice sort of changes in your life where, in another 12 months, things are going to look very, very different to what they do now. Your energy will be back. Mum will be settled and as happy as she can be. The family is starting to sort of unravel itself from its own issues and complications and changes that needed to go on. And sort of like family life is going to run off into many different directions. And you're going to be sitting there, Doris, and sort of saying, oh, phew, I can exhale now and I can just have a little bit of a look at where I want to go and what I want to do and sort of do something nice for me and sort of, start to reorganise your finances and start to get everything back on a much more even keel. And I feel that that's good. And I feel, that there will be more money sitting around and things like that because it's not going every which way in so many different directions trying to help everybody else. You'll be able to just focus on Doris and your immediate needs and what you want out of your life. And I feel within the next 12 months, there'll be an opportunity there for you to take a little break, have a little holiday and just, have some fun with it.
I wish, because I need it. I need it bad.
Yes, you do. You do. You don't only need a holiday, you need everybody else to take all their problems and go and sort them out themselves and just let you catch up a little bit. It's just been too much.
It has, because I have been working 60 or more hours a week, trying to take care of home, trying to take care of work, because I'm playing two roles at work. I'm playing my normal job and playing management, and then outside sources, other things outside, and I just don't have anything left.
No, I know you don't. And I think, we should all take a hat off to you because I think you've been doing an incredible job. You've been doing the job of about 5 people. So, when you roll everything into one basket, you've been Superwoman. So, don't ever think that you're not a strong woman and that, we should all admire you. So, I wish you well, Doris. I know things that haven't been easy, but they will start to get easier from now on in. But I want you to promise me you're going to learn to sit down for at least 10 minutes a day and do nothing and just let your body recharge for a minimum of 10 minutes a day. It's really important.
I will try to do that.
No, not try.
I will
You're
really
going to
try
do it.
to do that.
Yes, you need to do that because you need to do that for yourself, sweetheart. It's something that you need to let your body just be for 10 minutes so it can start to sort of regather its energy again. But I know things are moving along for you, sweetie. Lovely to talk to you, and I'll keep you in my prayers. So it's been a really difficult time for a lot of people around the world. Doris is just one example of, having a lot of family and commitments and things that are beyond and above what we consider sort of normal. And we question ourselves sometimes. I mean, where does our strength come from? I always believe that, we don't get thrown something that we really can't handle, even though we think at the time that we can't. And we look back sometimes at things that have gone in our lives and think, how on earth did I do that? I don't think I could cope with that again now. And that's the amazement, I suppose, of being human, and that we do adapt and we do change and we work with what's being presented to us at the time. It doesn't mean we can always function at this frenetic pace and not get burnout. And that's why I think things like mindfulness and meditation and just learning to still yourself is very, very important. And I know it's one of the hardest things I ever had to learn in my life, because I'm one of those people, I only know 2 speeds, stop and go. And it was mainly go and not a lot of stop. But I've learned over the last few years that we really do need to learn to listen to our body. And, there's always tomorrow. There's always another day. You're not going to get a better place in heaven because you've got the cleanest house in the street or, the ironing's up to date. You've got to learn to look after yourself. And if you don't learn to look after yourself, you're going to be absolutely useless and no good to anybody else. So that's my little message for the week. Take 10 minutes out of your busy day and look after yourself. So until next week, have a great week wherever you are in this amazing planet of ours. And if you want to learn a little bit more about the new moon in Gemini, come and join me over at Facebook. I'm doing a Facebook Live presentation directly after this show on the Amanda Hall page. Bye for now.
Perry Lyons here, New York City celebrity psychic, and I'm just really happy to see you guys, figuratively, although I can see you with my mind's eye. Let's see, it's been a great week. I hope all of you had something really outstanding happen last week. I also hope that you noticed it, because sometimes I know in my own life, sometimes I'll notice that something great happened in retrospect. Like, wow. So let's see. This Saturday, there's going to be a triple blue moon, which is kind of cool. And blue moons are supposed to be rare, so having 3 of them in a month, it kind of lowers their currency. But it should be a day filled with a lot of yumminess, because it's a full moon in Libra, and it's a really nice full moon in Libra. So if there's anybody you have your eye on, and listen to this, honey, I want you to dress up to the 9s or the 10s, but stop at the 11s. That's too much. And sashay out with all the confidence that you had when you were a 3-year-old. Although it's important, if you're 3, that you're not actually doing this. But when we're 3, we have that beautiful confidence. We even have that beautiful posture. 3-year-olds stand like this. It's like, they're like little gymnasts, except without being Romanian. So full moon in Libra, no matter where it occurs in your chart, is just a deliciously romantic and just a pretty day when things sort of work out and people get along. I mean, don't push it, but in general, people get along really well, full moon in Libra. And let's see what the cards say about the psychic weather this week. Dave, I think we should have like a psychic weather kind of thing in the background, but we'll work on it. So, okay. I only needed 3 cards. That's why I picked out 47. Okay. And we've got Elsa. Okay, this is Emma. I'm sorry. This is a week. This is interesting. This is actually a card you do want to see upside down. I mean, don't stay it in your head, but you like this. I like this card reversed because right side up, it can mean a little like you're living in a little too much fantasy. You have too many plans and you're sort of living in the fantasy without doing anything about it. That's right side up. Upside down, woo, this little guy's, all the blood is rushing to his head. And if you stand in your head, you can see that each of those cups is filled with glory or a crown or jewels or a beautiful woman or a snake or whatever. And it means at this point that this person is starting, which would be you, starting to think about how to take your dreams into reality. And a lot of people don't do that because it's hard work and it's scary. That's why there aren't that many good people. It's hard. The other thing this week, and this goes right in with the full moon and the blue moon, you saw me standing alone. Okay. This card, when you get this star card, it means that you're going to be the focus of positive attention this week. So don't make the same mistake I do and accidentally give yourself tragic pageant hair. This is really, again, over the weekend, I mean, you're really going to be the center of attention. And you can see that the star, one important thing is when you go out to be the center of attention, unlike this card, I would put some clothes on. So just a thought. But the star card, she's got her foot in the pool of emotion. And so she's very tied into what she's feeling. Pretty sure that's a girl. The stars around her are lining up. So it's sort of like the stars are on her side. And she's being her best and most attractive and just badass goddess self. So if there's anything you want or anyone you want or any dreams you have, this is a good week to take it seriously and start putting like some foundations under your castles in the air. One last card. That's nice. Well, I guess it's going to be June pretty soon. This is everybody's going to a wedding card, but it's more than that. It might mean that you and your partner are starting to think about a future as us rather than you and me. I mean, not when I say us, I mean you and him or her, whatever. Not me and whatever. What they're looking at in the sky is a rainbow of cups, which represent emotions, and they're golden cups. So they're emotions that you can pawn if things don't work out. But they have children dancing around them. So this might be a very important week in relationship for you. Once again, this is a great week for love, for beauty, for harmony. So what the hell? Ask somebody to marry you. Vegas isn't that far. So those are that's the psychic weather for the week. I never prearranged the cards because as the ADD psychic, I never prearrange anything. And now we've got Emma. And Emma, where are you calling from? I love that name.
Hi, Rebecca. How are you? I am calling from Melbourne, Australia.
Oh, I love Melbourne. It's the New York of Australia. That's such a good city. Tell you what, you stay there, and I'm going to come do the reading at your house.
City.
What?
What was that? Sorry.
Oh, I said, I'll tell you what, I love Australia so much that why don't you stay there, and I'll just come to you and do the reading. I can be there in about 24 hours. Good?
That sounds amazing.
Okay, my love. So first you're going to tell me your birthday, which is just an instant way of kind of bonding with you.
Okay. It is the 10th of the 4th, 1987.
You might want to back away from your phone a bit because you're a little muddled, which is fine.
Okay.
I love you, muddled or unmuddled.
The 14th of the 4th, 1987.
So fourth day of the 4th month, 1987. Is that what she said? Okay.
14th of the 4th, 1987.
Okay, sorry. We do it the other way around here. So,
That's okay.
ooh,
The
look at
line
you,
doesn't sound very clear.
Right. Wow. You little Aries creature, you. 1987, so that's 1993. Oh, you're also Year of the Snake. Hold on one second. I just have to fix something on my iPad. Oh, I bet you're irresistible. You're pretty young to have kids. I get 2 kids, but maybe is that correct? Are they in your future?
No, I don't have any children. No kids.
You know, I'm almost never wrong about that. I'll send you some sort of free gift. It looks like 1987. This looks to me like within 2 years, you're going to have your first kid. If that's something you want, you don't have to. Of course, in America, no, in Alabama, you do have to. But it's interesting because I'm getting 2 different. I'm getting 2 different, almost conflicting things from you. One is that you're really motivated to kind of express yourself in the world fully in a career you love. And there's a little part of you that worries that if you do that, maybe you won't have time to have the relationship and home life you need. Does that ring true at all? Just say yes. I'll pay you.
Yes, it rings very true, actually. Very true.
Okay.
Right. I guess, like, for me, it's taken me years. I'm studying at university at the moment.
Oh, good.
And it's taken me many years to get to this point, like about 15 years. Had to work through some stuff, but I'm studying nursing, and it's quite difficult, and I've had to make a lot of changes in my life to allow space should I find a partner for a relationship, because I've been single for quite a long time, for 3 years. So
yeah, I know what that's like.
Time, I've had to make lots of changes to time.
I think you're actually being a little protected right now because I think because you tend what's that song? I fall in love too easily. I fall in love too fast. When you fall in love, you're like you go ass over tea kettle, and that's not what you need right now. You need to. You're working with a minor learning disability, which is a sign of kind of brilliance, which I feel like you do have a little, maybe it's undiagnosed ADHD, possibly a little executive function disorder. So you might want to see somebody about that because you're incredibly bright. And the fact that you're challenged by some of the studies suggests to me that that's a possibility. Has it occurred to you before?
What was the first? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you're very bright. have you ever been tested for something like ADHD, attention deficit disorder? Because especially
No,
in the,
no, I haven't.
you might want to, because you're very, very bright. And I think sometimes it can be hard for you to like stay on focus with studying, or sometimes you can be a little absent-minded. It's actually something that often goes with high intelligence and creativity. And I'm not just saying that because I have it. But when I got diagnosed, I was so frustrated in school because I knew all this stuff, but it was just, I thought I was like lazy or crazy or stupid, but I would get tested for that. And also, what kind of...
Because I feel like I am struggling. Like either I do exceptionally well in my assignments, but in my exams, the pressure and the stress, like I either just pass. And the uni I go to, you have to have really high top marks because it's one of the best universities for nursing. So it is a challenge.
Mm-hmm. Nice. My kind of girl. You like deadlines. Maybe you should move to New York. You sound like one of us. We can house swap. I would actually have the ADD thing checked out because you're really friggin' bright. I realize this is cable, so I don't have to say frigging, but I'm going to. And you're hard on yourself, and you tend to blame yourself for that. What's going to happen? What's happening now is you're changing a lot. You're like, it's like you're a different person every other Tuesday. I mean, you're the same person and you're totally sane, but you're growing really fast. And the reason the guy hasn't shown up, or the girl, or the llama, whatever your preference is, hasn't shown up yet is because you're not who you were, but you're not who you're going to be. And there's going to come a moment, probably in 8 months to 13 months, but I stand by it. You're not going to be looking, and somebody who is not your normal type is going to bump into you at a party. Actually, I really do think that's what's going to happen. And it's going to be instant. You're going to have a great conversation. And that's that. And sorry. You'd be a really good pediatric or oncology nurse. Do you mind if I ask what your specialties?
Well, I am. There's a couple of different areas I'm interested in, either neuropsych, because I have a family member who's had a brain aneurysm, and that is most of my experience. There's acquired brain injury, and stroke, and spinal cord injuries. But I also do feel drawn to cardiology, or either like I was thinking about gynecology, oncology.
Oh, yeah.
So
the oncology is.
Sure.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just throwing stuff out there. So follow. I said I'm just throwing ideas out there. I got oncology. I got pediatric. I guess pediatric and gynecology kind of go hand in hand, so to speak. But I think you're going to be really good at it. So I would, you know about neuroscience. You know that if you have ADD, it's not a fault. It's not you're not lazy or crazy or anything like that. Go get it looked at. But you're going to do really well. And I also want to tell you how much respect I have for you. You really were persistent with this. You overcame a lot of obstacles, a lot of people saying you couldn't do it, a lot of people calling you. Are you petite? Are you smaller?
No, I would say I'm curvy.
You'd say you're what?
I would say that I'm curvy.
Oh no, I was saying, are you petite? Are you small? Are you like 5'3"?
No, I would say I'm average, or I have curves in all the right places.
Okay. I just feel like, I guess I got that because I felt like a lot of people were talking down to you. So next time anybody talks to you, come in the net. You're going to do great. I'm going to take our next.
I'm not 100% sure if it's what I'm meant to be doing, because like I am also very creative and musical, and I've been exploring sound healing. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure if nursing is what I'm meant to be doing, but I've made a decision, so I will stick it out until I finish. And then
you don't have to give up music. I've got a day job. I work 18 hours a day. I still write 2 songs a week, and I record. I was a full-time musician, but it wasn't quite enough for me. One of the best singers I've ever met is a full-time registered nurse who lives in California. And, oh, God, I'll post the name. She's wonderful. So here's the thing. My dad, who was a doctor and a writer, he used to say, and I'm going to leave you with this, the more you do, the more you can do, especially when you're like 19 or whatever you are. I have shoes older than you. So go make us proud and let me know how you are. And you're going to do great. Get tested for ADD, and the guy's going to show up in 9 months to 13 months. And that's going to be nice.
Take that last again, the line is very clear.
I'm sorry, what, darling?
Sorry, could you please take that last part? The line's not very clear for some reason.
I know, it's very strange. I should probably not use a Dixie cup or a string. What I said was the more you do, the more you can do. So don't worry about like, if I become a nurse, I'm not going to be able to do, no, it doesn't work that way.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The guy. It's basically, that's the guy. So you're not going to have to look around much. All right. Well, I fully put me up for a week. And next time I come to Melbourne. And
okay, sounds wonderful.
Love Australia, miss it so much. And the people are so great, and the women are badass. And the boys are hot. So, and the women are smarter, which is that's how I like it. All right, sweetie, I'll talk to you soon. Call back soon. Let me know how you are. Okay? All right. Mwah. Bye, babe. Okay. Dave, I did not see that last name. Oh, Haley. I love that name. Hi, Haley.
Hi.
It's kind of my favorite. Hi. Oh, you've got a nice voice. Where in North Carolina are you?
Thank you.
Where in North Carolina are you?
I'm in Roxborough. It's a small town.
I know people from there. Never underestimate how small the world is. What was that old line? It's a small world, but I wouldn't want to paint it. So tell me your birthday so I can get an immediate
July 25th,
entry.
1995.
I swear this show gets the most Leos. I love that. I love Leos. 1995?
Yeah.
Wow. That was just last week. Okay, let's see. Wow, you have a lot of creative energy. You have a lot of energy, period. Do you leave, like,
I have ADHD.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, girl, we got to stick together. I think ADHD broads kind of rule. Because men think we're mysterious when we've just forgotten what their names are. So I'm not playing hard to get. I genuinely forgot about you. So what in the many millions of things that you think about a day would you like a little loving guidance with?
Yeah, I want like insight about what I need to do before I find like the person I'm supposed to be with.
Do you mean that you want to get a bunch of stuff in your life done before you meet this person? Or
Yeah, I want to know what lessons I'm supposed to learn and stuff, because I know I have a little bit to go. I can personally feel that, but, you know, I'm one of those impatient people.
You're one of those enlightened people. I don't think I've ever had anybody on this show say something that like organically enlightened. For you to even say like, yeah, I've got stuff I'm working on. Most people don't even think that way. So my hat is off to you. You don't have to change in any way, shape, or form, because I think you're perfect just as you are. I love that you're going to keep growing. That's just part of who you are. But I think the person, I'm going to stop 1 second and say, our last caller said she was single for 3 years, and that's going to change. I was single for 5 years, and I was cute back then. And I realized, and one day I stopped wearing opium. Next day, everybody on the planet. So change your perfume. That would be my first advice, because you're great. I think that if you can take the things that you're critical about with yourself and maybe reframe them in terms of like, yes, I have ADD, but on the other hand, I'm a sparkling conversationalist, or yes, I'm too young or too old or too tall or too, but actually I love that about myself. I think here's what it is. I think what you're asking is, how do I not make the same mistakes that seem to sink my last relationships? Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Well, pretty easy. Don't be insecure. Don't play games. And this is not judgmental. Anything you've done, I've done 5 times as hard and as stupider and in public with a cat in my head. So this is not judgment. Second. So here's the thing. The fastest way to draw a significant other into your life is to get really, really interested in something that's not a guy or a girl or a llama, whatever your taste is. Absolutely the fastest. And even if you're not that interested in it at first, if you really pay attention to something, you become interested in it. What that does is it brings our energy back into us, and it takes the energy off the guy, especially if there's a particular guy we want. If we think about him a lot, he can feel that. And he's like, but get your energy back onto what makes you happy, what makes you feel like joyful, what makes you feel juicy. I met one of the many loves of my life. Because I don't think there's just one. Well, there isn't for me anyway. When I started waking up every morning and asking myself before I get out of bed, this life-changing question. So write this down. Ready? What would the happiest woman in the world do right now? Say it back to me. What would the happiest woman in the world? I said, the question is, what would the happiest woman in the world do right now? And then do that. It seems really simple.
What?
It's magic. What? Do you want me to repeat that?
What would the happiest woman in the world do right now? It's magic.
Yeah. So that's a question that you're going to ask yourself. And I know it seems goofy. You'll get used to it after about 2 hours. But really ask yourself, okay, in this moment, what would the happiest woman in the world do? And it doesn't mean like you have to go buy a private jet. It's just when you say that, you're elevating your frequency. And I asked that question in every situation, not out loud because I didn't want to be committed, and I would listen to what the answer was. Hold on, I'm just going to fix this. And I swear to God, 2 weeks later, I was best friends with a movie star. I was dating like one of People magazine's sexiest man alive. I'm not making this up. It seems crazy. Try it. So those are my recommendations. He's going to show up anyway, but a better version of him will show up if you do those two things. Pay attention. Let me make sure the cards agree with me. Yes, wait, this is going to happen for you anyway. So that's a happy marriage card.
Hi, I'm Jenny and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now back to A1R on the air, Psychic Talk Radio now on Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television.
Hello everyone, how are we tonight? How is everyone doing and how has everyone's week been? So my week, let's see, I've had a lovely week. It's lots going on in my world. Lovely Mother's Day that was on the weekend, so a lovely time with my children and my partner. So yes, it was a lovely weekend. Basically the weather here on the Gold Coast is absolutely beautiful. The best thing that I love about the month of May here on the Gold Coast is that, the days are beautiful, it's sunny, it's warm, you can still be in, summer clothes, and at night time, it's a lot cooler. The best part of my day is coming home and obviously seeing my family, but I love getting into my pajamas because, the nights are cooler and, and at night time, the best part also is that the kids sleep. They sleep because it's darker earlier and it's darker earlier in the morning too. So the children sleep in longer. And time is to really have those quiet times to meditate and do things that I need to before they wake up. So I'd just like to talk a little bit about also my the week. The best part that I love is going into work on Wednesday, and it's surrounding myself with positive, uplifting, happy work colleagues, and I really look forward to work. And I think it's important for everyone to surround themselves with people that, support your ideas, your dreams, and just your ideas, but have people that know that you're worthy and know that, you have people around you always uplifting you and creating happiness around you. There's nothing worse having toxic people in your life that really bring your energy levels down. So just really be mindful of the people that, you have in your life, and know that, it's totally up to you who you have in your life, and just be aware of, how you feel about, certain people around you. I know that I like to be around positive people, and there's nothing worse to just really feeling like, it just feels suffocating when people are just dragging your emotions and really just not happy people. So that was just my tip for the week, just to really surround yourself with high vibrational people. Okay, so I'm going to take our first caller. We have Penny. I cannot remember where Penny was from. Louisiana. Hello, Penny. How are you today?
I've been better. How are you?
Oh, thank you. You don't sound too well.
I'm all right.
Yep. Which areas in your life would you like me to focus on for you at the moment?
Just my personal life. Just where am I going? What's my purpose?
Can you just say that again? Sorry, we just have poor connection on my end.
Just where am I going? What am I going to do? What's my purpose?
Okay.
General.
Yep, just general stuff. Okay, at
Yep.
the moment, is your health okay at the moment? I just feel really tight. I feel really like I've got a lot going on around my chest area. Have you had with your health lately?
I have bronchitis.
Pardon, what was that, Punny?
I have bronchitis.
Oh, you have bronchitis. I'm so sorry to hear that. I can feel that on my chest. I feel really heavy at the moment. And I feel like you have a lot going on in your mind. My head feels really heavy. So I feel like, you're in your life at the moment, you're at a crossroad. I see you being at crossroads with work. Have you been thinking about making a new change in your work?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just moved from Kansas. I had 2 jobs. I quit both my jobs, and I moved all the way from Kansas all the way to Baton Rouge.
Yep. Okay. Gosh, lots of traveling in between.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can feel that, and I can feel the exhaustion around, feeling like everything's really up in the air and not feeling like you're grounded, or have that not really feeling like you're settled in where you're at the moment. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So with work, okay, so you've moved. Okay, I'm just having a look. I just see, like, for you for the future, I can see ahead of you that the roads ahead are really bumpy for you. I feel like you're going up and down. Like, I feel like that, or not feel, sorry, I'm seeing the roads up and down for you. I really see that you're just really at a crossroads, and it's about deciding whereabouts you want to be and what kind of people you really want to surround yourself around. Are you able to let me know what kind of work you do? Because I keep seeing, is it that any of the medical field? I just have lots of, whether it's doctors or nurses. What kind of job do you do at the moment?
I'm not doing anything at the moment. I'm a caretaker right now.
Oh, okay. So that's where because I was seeing, okay, so you look after people. Is that correct? That's what you were doing?
Yes. That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay. Yeah, okay. And I feel like that it's not the kind of work that you want to continue doing. Is that correct?
I'm better than this.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I see that there's lots more out there for you. There's something else that you've been wanting to do but really haven't stepped outside your comfort zones to do it. Is that correct? There's something totally different that you're wanting to do in your life?
Yes.
And it's more study. Does it have more study? Are you actually looking at doing more study?
Well, I don't think so, but I can.
Oh, no, like it's like a different course kind of thing that's going to help you, like where I'm seeing you at the moment. Because I see you studying, but I really see you studying for the kind of job that you want to go into. And it's totally different from looking after people. It's really more about, it's a job that's not going to be so exhausting on your health as well. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm looking for
Yeah, and I just really seeing that the job that you're going to, I just feel like, I don't know, it just feels a lot lighter. I you know what, I don't know what kind of job that you're going to go into, but I just know that you're going to be able to think clearer. You're going to be very motivated, and you're going to have lots of people looking up to you. Can I ask what kind of course or what kind of job that you're looking at going into?
I don't have any clue.
Oh, you don't have any clue. Okay, because what I'm seeing for you at the moment is that what I was seeing, because I just wanted to confirm it, was that I see you being, it's more of a leadership role, but I feel like that it's like, I see, and it's split levels, and it feels like whether it's in like a department, but I really feel like that, you're in charge of a lot of things. It's like, whether it's department of what I'm seeing is a shopping centre, but not kind of like it is a shopping centre, but it's departments or something, whether it's fashion or. But I'm really seeing you playing a big role in having managing people below you, if that makes sense.
Okay. That makes sense.
Pardon?
It does make sense.
It does? Okay. And that's what I was seeing with the, I just had a clear mind. I was just, sorry, I just had it come through and then come back out. And with the studying around you, I see that it's a role that you're going to just need more, whether, you're going to study further in just to have the skills involved to be able to do this particular job. I know that you are very intelligent, and I feel like you don't put your mind, everything that you have in your head, in your brain, I feel like you don't put it out there for everyone to see. Because you have some really great ideas, and it's about putting those great ideas that you have up here into action. Does that make sense with you?
Yes.
Yeah. So I just see that there's going to be lots of people around you, and that people are really going to listen to everything that you have to say. And I feel like it's not going to be too stressful, like the job isn't going to be too stressful for you, because you can really do anything, and I can see that you're motivated for change into your life at the moment.
Yes.
And I feel that your health at the moment is really important at the moment, is to really look after yourself. But what I do see for you is that, that you are filling out application forms and you're getting that out there. So you're really looking at the kind of work that that really ticks off your interest, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I'm really seeing for you at the moment. I've also have an image coming through, and I know it's totally it's come out of nowhere, but I just see you. Are you doing anything with your hair at the moment?
No, my hair does me.
No. Because I just see you at the hairdressers, and I know that it sounds crazy, but what I'm seeing is it's really a time in your life to really look after yourself and treat yourself, like I feel like with all the work that you have been doing is that you've put your needs, you haven't put your needs first, and that you've put other people first, and it's a time for you to really look after yourself before you can actually, I think, once you look after yourself, you'll be able to step back and really look at your life and see where you want to go.
Thank you.
Yeah. I just like to draw you a card. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You're okay? Okay, I'm going to draw you a card just before you go. The card I have for you is breaking free. So it's letting you know that you have the confidence and you have the motivation to really show other people what you're worth, what you're capable of doing. So to really put yourself out of your comfort zones, and only you can be the one to make that next move for everything to happen for you. So I really wish you all the best for the future, but I do see that there's lots going on. There's lots to look forward to, but just really look after yourself first and then really set those goals to where you want to go.
Okay.
Okay, Penny, thank you. Thank you for calling up tonight.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye. Okay, we have our next caller. Dave, are you able to put that up again for me, please? Jennifer from Oregon. How are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
Oh, very well, thank you. So how can I help you? What areas in your life would you like me to look into?
I guess I'm going to be having surgery come up. If that's everything going to be okay, and if anybody's coming through for me.
Okay, just a question. When you said surgery, do you have anything going on around your chest area or heart?
No.
Okay, because I just feel like whether you've got a lot of anxiety as well going on around this area, because I just feel like my heart got really, like it shook. So basically I got flutters in my chest area. So whether you're very, very anxious of this surgery that's upcoming.
Yes.
And is it in the next 3 weeks? It's very soon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's what I'm seeing. I'm actually seeing that you have, okay, yeah. I'm seeing that you have lots of support around you. I'm also seeing that, oh gosh, I'm seeing lots at the moment. I actually have someone here in spirit with me. She is a lady, and whether she's on your mother's side, but she's really showing me, okay, so what she looks like is that she has like blondie grey hair, really curly. Well, not curly, it's curly. And she's like, I'm going to say like a little lady, but she's very much, is this resonating with you at all? Like your grandmother?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I actually and what she has flowers. Is your birthday coming up at all?
In a month.
Okay, because she's here with me at the moment, and she's actually got these bluey purple flowers, and she's really she's given me the flowers to give to you. She's just letting me know that she is always with you, but she's also letting you know that to have faith, not to give up.
Okay.
She's also showing me, did she pass on like some jewelry, like a locket to you at all?
Not that I know of. I wouldn't, probably no one gave it to me if she did.
Okay, it's just that she's showing me like this little necklace, and it looks like a locket or something that she really held close to her heart that she left for you, but she's just showing me, I'm really just drawn to this necklace as well in her hands. And she's also letting me know that, okay, she's also brought to my attention, is there a wedding around you at the moment?
No, not this year or anything.
Not this year? Are you actually thinking of,
No.
not thinking, you're not getting married or next year? Is there wedding plans going on at the moment? It doesn't necessarily
no, I'm
mean
already.
you're
I'm
married.
already married. Yeah.
Okay, and if you don't mind me asking, was your Nana, was she around you at the time for your wedding?
No.
Okay, because that's what she's really brought. Gosh, I can't even think the words today. She's actually, what she's showing me is that it's brought to my attention that she's really noting that she was there around when you got married as well. She's also showing me that there's a strong bond that you have with your husband, and that he's very supportive, and he's really holding your hand. I just see that he's holding your hand. This is the gesture she's showing me, is she's like this, and that she's holding your hand, but she's letting me know that your husband holds your hand a lot. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah.
Yep, and that he's, and what I keep seeing 24, whether it's 24 hours, but I just feel like he's always there for you around the clock. I just feel like he's your obviously biggest support, but I feel like he's there. Like what I'm seeing is with the 24 is that if you need him, he's there. Is that correct? Like if you were apart,
yeah.
And if you needed him for something, he's always there. I keep seeing the 24 around you.
Yes.
I've also really drawn to my throat, like I'm not sure where you've got the surgery going on at the moment, but I'm really drawn around my throat area as well. Have you got anything going on with your throat?
It's just been getting sore because of my allergies.
Okay, so that's what I'm picking up with okay, so you've got allergies going on as well. Okay, so what I also seeing at the moment, I see that, the surgery is going to be very successful, because I keep seeing the words, I keep seeing, obviously the good luck, but it's a lot more like the banners, when you wake up and you've got flowers and you have, you obviously have support, you have family around you, but it was the get well signs, and, that's what I'm seeing around you as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm also,
Go ahead.
sorry. No, you go.
Oh, I was going to ask a question.
Yeah, you ask away.
Is there any other people around me?
Any other people around you? I also have I have quite a few actually, but obviously your Nana was really, she's really more vivid. Like I can see her and feel her a lot more than the other people, but I do have I have two males in front of me as well.
Okay.
But what they're doing at the moment is that they're just really supportive. They're actually, basically they're not really saying much unless they were the kind of people not to be very talkative. But I feel like, do you actually have a brother in spirit at all?
No.
No?
Are you able to bring people forward?
Only if they allow or want to come forward. But no, at the moment, I just really have your grandma that's next to me.
Okay.
She's just very patient.
About my mom.
About your mum. Yeah, at the moment, I just have your Nana. She's just, really just standing here very patiently, really just, she's just really there for your support.
Okay.
Yeah. And just to know that, just because I don't see your mum today is that, she's always around you and always with you. Because, your Nana's really just has come through strong today. Just to know that even though your mum's not here with me, that she is around you, always supporting you and guiding you, and that your Nana's also let me know, do you actually have vivid dreams at all?
Vivid dreams?
Yeah, vivid dreams, like you can recall your dreams really well?
Yeah, I do all the time.
Okay, because that's what she's letting me know about your sleep, that it's also, she's just letting me know about your sleep. So she's obviously very aware of your dreams as well.
Okay.
And she's also showing me, do you have a love for plants at all?
Lots of what?
A love for plants, like pot plants. Plants?
Plants?
Yes.
No, not really.
Not really? Because what she's showing me, I'm just going to describe. She has this plant and she's like, she wants to give this plant to you. And it's like, as you would nurture as if someone would give you a plant, you nurture the plant. So basically what she's letting me know is that to nurture yourself, to look after yourself, to get enough rest and to eat well.
Okay.
Yep. Is there anything else you would like to ask me?
I guess I have so many questions, and then it comes, and then I don't have any. I guess are you able to tell me, I guess, if my brother's going in the right direction?
Okay, so your brother, okay. At the moment, what I'm seeing for him is that the roads ahead, so basically his path ahead is very rocky. I feel like he's in and out, in and out. So I'm not sure what that means. I just heard in and out, like whether he's can get himself into trouble, and then he's always trying to get himself out of trouble of things that he gets caught up into that he doesn't intentionally put himself into. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that I just feel like that he's going around in circles as well, because I see him going around in circles, and I really feel like he's got a lot going on in his mind. And I also feel like that the people around him at the moment aren't the kind of people that aren't the most positive people around him. Is that correct?
I'm not too sure.
Okay. So that what I'm saying is that he's just in an area in his life where he just feel like he's not moving, but he's just a bit stuck and he's a bit confused and not sure where he wants to go in his life. But I feel like that where he is going isn't, I'm not going to say the right, he needs to work it out he needs to work it out for himself and not have others work it out for him, if that makes sense. But I do see that once he actually really knows what kind of people he wants around him and what kind of work he wants to do, then I see that his future is very bright. It's just a matter of him, I guess, also accepting himself as well, but also he needs to really, what I'm seeing for him is that he has lots of questions in his head that he likes to answer, but I just see that he's very confused as well. So it's just a matter of him knowing what kind of people he wants around his life and where he wants to go. So I do see that I do see that his path ahead is very rocky, but it will get to the point that, you know, everything's going to turn out well, but it's more of him learning, just going through a cycle in his life where he's learning a lot about himself and the people that are around him. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. And I just wanted to know, what does, I guess, my future look like in jobs?
I feel like where you're at the moment that you have lots of support, and I feel like, but knowing that, I see that there's something else outside of your work that you want to do, and I still feel like it's connected to what you're doing. So whether you actually are stepping up in a higher role, if that makes sense to you at the moment.
Kind of. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I take care of everyone.
Okay, so you're a stay-at-home mom. So pretty much for later on, I do see lots of study around you at the moment too. I really need to end our session. Thank you for calling up tonight. I just only have 60 seconds left.
Okay,
thank you. Have a lovely night. That's okay.
You too. Thanks.
Okay, bye. 30 seconds. Okay, so I'd just like to thank everyone that called up tonight. Oh my goodness, it was, I'm not going to say it was an easy session, an easy reading for me tonight, and I know that I don't always connect well, but I do learn at the same time. And just to let people know that when spirit do come through, it's for the spirit family members that want to pass on, that I basically can't bring through certain people. So just want to let everyone know. So thank you, A1R Psychic Radio, for our show tonight, and I hope everyone has a lovely weekend.
At A1R Psychic Radio, we know you lead a busy life. That's why we've assembled Earth's top psychic TV and radio hosts in one location. Psychics, mediums, astrologers, tarot practitioners. Your premium encounter with our hosts is free when it's done on the air or on our TV station, Moonstruck TV. Our hosts are all light workers with hearts of gold. Our audience is global. It's no wonder we're live with free readings 3 times a week. That's right, all psychic and medium readings, along with astrology and tarot advice, 100% free. And with A1R, you can know we critically screen all of our hosts. They're all 100% of the light, no scammers. Join us Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for a truly mind-blowing experience. You're always welcome here. We love our listeners. Anyone can ask anything. Love, life, career, family, and more. It's your reading. Ask your question. Our hosts truly care and can't wait to help you. Earth's top psychics host shows on A1R Psychic Radio. Why? Because the audience is first, and they know it. With love, we welcome you. This is A1R Psychic Radio.
And I'm your host, Mary Amy, coming to you from A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. My site is listed at the bottom of the screen, MaryAmyOfficial.com. I am an intuitive wisdom coach. As an empath intuitive, I'm able to connect to your inner spirit by utilizing my extrasensory abilities, seeing, hearing, feeling information about you. I'm here for you. I see the light and beauty and hope in the universe. So today's topic, before we get some phone calls, is dreams. Dreams are the mind's expression of our subconscious thought, seen as images, symbols, and while we're sleeping. Dreams bring awareness to the subject and bring it to the forefront of our mind. Then it's I literally have write down little notes and then put them into my book. And I am putting together information that you have in your mind. Dreams show patterns and they alert you. I have had a lot of premonition dreams, and sometimes I actually have a dream, and then the very next morning I will have that situation happen to me. And it actually is validation that I'm on the right path. So a dream can be actual many times in my life from situations that I should get out of quicker than I have. And it's funny, I really, really trust my dreams. If I have a dream about someone or something that alerts me, I will listen to my dreams. So that is why it was very, very important to me to create a dream journal workbook. So what will be in the dream journal will be a kind of a description of what to do, and then you'll be able to list a description and the day and how you felt, and you don't necessarily look at it regularly. You might not look at it for 6 months to a year, and you can kind of see that you will start to become much more aware of what you should be doing with your life, because it's connecting to your dreams or connecting to your soul, and they're giving you information. So this is interesting. I've had situations where I've known someone, and it could be someone that I'm actually seeing in a romantic way, or a friend, and I've literally shared dreams with them. In other words, I've had that person's dream, or the other person had parts of my dream in their dream, and vice versa. Okay, so here we go. We have a caller, Kathy from Florida.
Hi, how you doing?
Kathy? Good, how are you?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
Great. My name's Mary. I am an intuitive wisdom coach. Are you interested in a reading or a question?
A reading, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right.
So instantly I got from you, I got that there's a lot of sadness with you right now, and there's some fear attached to the sadness. You are cautious, and you're protecting yourself. Okay,
yeah,
and
there's a lot of sadness.
Sorry?
I said yes. There's a lot of sadness.
Yeah, and it's interesting. You are not. It's either something that surprised you suddenly, and you're trying to get your bearings, or it just has happened. It's one of the two. It's either a surprise, or whatever happened is pretty new.
It just happened this weekend.
Okay. So Kathy, are you okay, so I'm receiving that you are someone who is not someone who, it's interesting that you called up on the line, because I don't know if you're camouflaging who you are, because you are more apt to call me than go public with whatever's bothering you.
No, I'm a private person normally.
No, that's what I'm saying. You are a private person, so it's interesting that you're actually calling a stranger, is what I'm trying to say. That's exactly what I meant. That you are a very private person, and so tell me, give me a direction so that I can help.
Well, I had been talking to someone for about 4 months. We finally met this weekend, and it turned out to be completely opposite of how it was portrayed, the entire 4 months. So it's kind of a shock to me. But I just kind of don't understand why, or if it was something I did, or.
Okay, so what I'm getting that you're a very valuable. I'm getting that you're a very valuable woman, and you are disappointed, and there's something that you gained here that you needed to gain in this situation, whether you realize it or not. I know that this person gave you a lot of hope, and you were banking on it. But I'm going to tell you the good news. The good news is the fact that you were trying this, and you were having that light that you connected to, is good energy. That part's good energy. The part that it didn't work out is just that this situation wasn't meant to be, but that doesn't mean that you go and retreat and give up, because you've now opened up the doors to something. You've opened up the doors to very strong possible happiness. to get through this, I would say that rather than go and, because you are a private girl, to sit down and to write down how you feel about this. And know that this is not because of you. This is not because of you. This is this person's faults. Okay?
Okay.
And you have a chance for love. So what am I seeing for you in the future? Let me see how far away it is. Okay, so I see that with this situation you gained an understanding and not some knowledge that you needed to have. So I see that not the next person, but you're going to try, and it's going to be a short situation. It's not going to be long term. It's going to be short. It's only going to be one date, I think, or one situation, and then the next person, you're going to embark on something that's going to be minimum 6 months to longer.
Okay.
All
right.
So,
yes, ma'am. Thank you.
It was wonderful speaking to you. You can check my Facebook page. I'm also, and I have information, and I post, as well as Instagram, Mary Amy Official. And I am so happy that we had a chance to speak. And again, my suggestion is to write down how you feel to release this. But you know what?
Okay.
I see that you've already lifted some of it. I'm getting that you already lifted some of this off of you. It's almost like it's a fluttering around you. The energy is lifted off of you. The bad stuff, I mean. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You were very, very on point.
Okay, well, you have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.
Okay, bye. Okay, we're having another caller now. Oh, hi. We're having Shannon in Georgia. Shannon?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so immediately I'm getting information, and Shannon, I'm getting that you actually have a stubborn streak. You are someone who's pretty black and white, and you do not, it's hard for you to budge when you make a decision. But you do have a uncovered. It's interesting. As soon as someone gains your trust, you're very I want to say loyal, and the person's family to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there a direction you would like to go in, or is there a question?
Yes, ma'am. My oldest daughter, she's 31 years old. She just received some bad news, and I would like to start there if possible.
Okay, so I immediately saw that she's very upset. And okay, so my first suggestion is going to be that she needs you to be very strong for her. And and I know you have it in you to do that. And I know that it's going to be a burden until after it passes. So whatever's happened, I see is going to pass. And until that it passes, she's going to need you to be a rock for her. And then when it passes, that's when you can kind of fall apart or deal with it yourself. But she needs you as her mom.
Yes, ma'am. what it is she got some bad. It's about her health.
Yeah, I know.
And the doctors are saying that she don't have maybe 2 weeks. And I lost my husband in 2009, my kid's father, and I don't know. You know,
Okay. I'm so sorry. It's horrible news. I'm so sorry. Okay, so do you believe in God?
Excuse me, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I can hear you now. Thanks.
Okay, so I'm saying, we have a poor connection. I apologize. Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Okay. So my first suggestion, obviously, is to pray and to ask God for as much love as he can give you and your daughter, and to spend as much time as possible with her, and to enjoy every single second. If you have to live by her side for however long, which I don't think it's going to be 2 weeks. I sense that it's longer than 2 weeks, like maybe double that. I would spend as much waking moments or sleeping moments next to her.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because and maybe to plan something to do with her. Either it's something related to your past that you can talk about, highlight, whether it's pictures, you take her somewhere and spend special moments with her. But do not waste any time. Spend as much time as you can with her. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
This is urgent for you because it's for her and for you. And she needs you to be very strong.
Yes, I understand.
Okay. And so I see God, and I see doves, I see beauty, and I see light around her, and she will be protected, and I know that you're strong enough to take this on and to be there for her.
Yes, ma'am. It's like, does her father know what's going on?
Her father. So what I'm sensing is that her father is actually aware. He is, his spirit is waiting, and he is preparing to communicate with her, but he's kind of leaving this up to you right now. And
but I don't understand, because she is very independent. She has her own place, and she does the hour for me, and she refuses to let me come stay with her because of her live-in boyfriend. But I know how important it is that I spend time with her.
No, it's very important to her. It's very important. And look, this just happened, so she's probably, it's taking time for her to process this. But you can gently talk to her. I'm not saying aggressively go into this. I don't believe in aggression. I believe gently speak to her and explain to her the immediacy of this, and that it would be valuable to her, and that you will be there for her. I don't know if he's capable, her live-in, of being as supportive as you are.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
And you, you can't force you can't force situations, but maybe you can make a gentle suggestion and just show her, to explain to her the value of this and how, this is an important time.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, well, I thank you.
I'm so sorry, and my prayers are with you and your daughter, and you're a very strong woman, and I wish you the best.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye. Life is precious, and I know that. And I know that every moment matters. We can choose to be disgruntled or unhappy, or we can choose to come from a perspective of light and beauty and positivity. I choose to be positive, and that's just who I am. And that's why I'm here to help and heal. And I hope that we can find the beautiful glowing light that's in your heart. You can message me on my Facebook, MaryAmyOfficial.com, if you have any questions that I can answer during the show. And you can call me up here and we can have, a little meet and greet, and I will answer past, present, and future questions. Before I go, I want to remind you about what I spoke about earlier, which was the Dream Journal and how to keep track of your dreams and how important they are. Also, almost forgot, before I go quickly, a gemstone. Today, the Black Obsidian gemstone, which means it helps choose the path to light and love, for protection, and to release negativity. The Black Obsidian. Thank you so much. This has been Dream Reality with Mary Amy.
Reeves, Australia's Psychic Cowgirl, here at home in Sunday Creek. A bit of a different background today because I get bored, so I have to change it up a bit. So yeah, it all depends on the time of the day and how the lighting comes in as well. So yeah, it's a bit of fun. So today, along with connecting with a couple of callers, we'll just have a little bit of a chat about sharing your gifts and you're tuning into your sixth sense, because it's something that's really I find really important to utilize the fact that you also have a psychic side to you. So quite often when I'm doing a reading or connecting for somebody, I'll pick this up and share that with them. And for a lot of people, it's something they're aware of but maybe haven't tapped into. And I really like to be able to encourage you to tap into that, because really, the more that you can utilize your intuition and your inner guidance, the less likely you are to have to, not necessarily depend on somebody else to give you the information, but also to know when somebody's giving you information that it resonates. And that's your inner guide going, yep, I agree with that, or no, maybe that doesn't feel right for me. So it's something that, when you are in this field, or like myself and others that do readings and things, is we, as often as we can, we'll tend to tune in with things to say, okay, I might have inquiries for shows or to travel to different places. That's, for me personally, and I'll be kind of guided to where I need to say yes to. And, it's when you override that sometimes and think, oh, no, I'll just push through that and go and do it, that you realise that maybe that wasn't, you were getting the guidance for a reason, and, you should have listened. So it's a little bit the same for yourself. If you're in your workplace or you are somewhere and where you're having to make decisions, sometimes that can be for family, sometimes it can be for friends or just for yourself, and you're really feeling unsure. So when you start to tune into your psychic side, we sit in our personal power. And one of the things that I really encourage people to do is to actually be guided, to take a moment. Like we tend to, our life tends to get really busy, and sometimes we don't tend to follow our inner guidance. So we need to take a moment to reflect and make that decision. A lot of people I find that do regret decisions are the ones that actually don't take time to check in and see if it feels right. So that is if you are impatient, if you are, pushing things to happen rather than taking a deep breath, seeing how it sits with you. And it doesn't mean you have to sit there for 6 months and do nothing at all. But sometimes we need to take a moment to feel if it resonates with you and your inner guidance. So, it's important to do that. And I encourage you this week as something to, if you haven't already tuned into your inner guidance, come to when there's a decision. That can be a tiniest little baby decision, or it can be a bigger decision, but just tune into where it sits with you and how you feel about it. And you'll be amazed at the guidance that you have within you. And by starting to do this and practicing it, you will get really great at knowing, yes, that's right for me, or no, that's not right for me. And you won't have a doubt. You won't be having to overthink things. You won't be having to worry about things. We get into that state, and then we start to override that inner guidance. So take the time this week to spend, 5 minutes just taking note of decisions you need to make and what feels right for you, because you've got it. It's all within you. So I just wanted that encouragement this week, because I felt like it was something that a lot of us can relate to at the moment with the current energy and propelling us into, the second half of the year is just around the corner. So, yeah, make 2019 count. All right, I'm going on to my first caller. I've got Eric in Oklahoma. Eric, how are you?
Good.
That's good. You're quite in tune yourself, actually. I'm just picking up around you. You're quite... Do you explore your psychic side much?
Do what now?
Do you like tune into your sixth sense, or you have quite a gift in as far as being intuitive for things?
Yes.
Yeah, because like I see that really strongly around you. All right, see, Eric, at the moment there's a decision weighing up around you, and I feel like I'm at a crossroads. So I feel like there's two options, but we're weighing them up at the moment, and it's almost like one of them is a really great opportunity, but there's something around being fearful of stepping into that. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah. So I want to say, because it's like, cause I'm laughing as I'm connecting to spirit. They're laughing, going, you don't realise how powerful you are, and it's almost like you bring so much to the table that you understate yourself. So that to me is like they're showing me you're ready for this. It's your time, and we want to say yes and go for the big opportunity.
All right.
Okay, because it's more the, how can you put, there's that element of self-doubt. You kind of doubt that you can step up to the plate, but it's like they're clearly showing me you can.
Yeah.
So don't get yourself into doubt. You've got this. There's also something, have you made some really significant changes in the last couple of months, within this year?
Yes.
Yeah. Because Spirit's coming through, go and give yourself a pat on the back. So have you released things? I feel like you've made some significant changes.
Yes, a lot of them, especially here lately.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm feeling light. So I feel like a weight's been taken off your shoulders, and I feel like I'm free now to, move forward and almost like I feel like for you there's so many more opportunities that have come along because you've made the decision, you've let go of what was holding you back.
All right.
Which is exciting.
Yeah, very exciting.
It's like I really want to go, come on, I want to lock your arm in mine and go, come on, let's get this party started. Let's move forward into this because it's really going to propel you. And I want to say to you, it's like the best is yet to come from you.
All right.
All right. Now, what is the relation to music around you?
My wife and then my 2 sons.
Yeah, because it's like music's important, and there's a lot of, how can we put it? It's like it's going to play a bigger part in your life. So I don't know whether it's with your children stepping up into that or your wife, but somebody sort of stepping into their gift of being able to play music.
Probably one of the kids.
Yeah. And what about you health-wise at the moment? There's something that's been a bit of a shift around with that too.
The way you're cutting out a little bit.
That's okay. I feel like there's something around health that you've changed up. Because I feel like I've either lost a lot of weight or I've shifted. Like what Spirit's showing me is I'm lighter than I was.
I mean, I've lost a lot of weight here recently over the past 2 years. My brother had passed away in a car wreck, and ever since then, I just lost my weight.
Yeah. But you feel him around you, don't you? Because I feel like there was just, yeah. He's also up there. Is your father in spirit as well? Who's the other male that's with him?
That's my best friend, Matthew.
Okay. And they were connected in life, yeah? Because I feel like they're up there and they are together. So it's like, but we've got a really strong connection, the two of them.
Yes, they had a very strong connection.
Yeah, okay. So with your brother, I feel like he's a bit of a character. So as with connecting with him and what he's showing me, there's something around he really wants you to stop working as hard. It's like I almost feel like he's showing me you don't need to work to drive yourself as much doing the physical work as what you do. And it's like when he's showing me this, he's almost saying he used to tell you this in life. So it's like I don't feel like this is a new message from him. I feel like he's showing me this is something that's that he used to tell you when he was around.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Did he used to tell you that? You could back off having to work so hard? Because it's like he's coming through saying that. They tell him to, it's your time. And I also feel like I want to relate to what he's showing me that he packed a lot in his life. And it's like he's just acknowledging, yes, his life was cut short, but he did do a lot of things. So I feel like there's not that I regret not being able to do everything because I feel like he fitted in his lifetime a lot.
Yes.
So it's like, I'm living for the minute. And I feel like in that message too, he's saying to you, time to live it up. Now, where does the jacket fit in? Do you wear his jacket? Show me a jacket.
Yes, I haven't. Are you talking about my brother or my best friend?
Yep. I feel like it's your brother still.
Yeah, I have both of their jackets.
Yeah, because he's gone, put the jacket on, man. I feel like, was your brother the one to make things happen? And so it's almost like I feel what he's showing me is he was the leader and you'd come along beside, but he was the one that led the way.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's like he's going, I know I'm not there, but I'm guiding you. And it's like, come on. He wants to say, get your A into gear.